So I have to relate some of the mundane nuance. As a dog, I had, I have a kind of a plotting, kind of a oratorical style, or recording, trying to renumerate my renumerances, to get them down on paper, my reminiscence. But, so it's important that as a dog, you make an entry while it's fresh in your mind. And so I had to come in here, I had to make a quick entry. So this just happened a few minutes ago. But we were sitting at the table that they keep in the sunroom. And the sunroom is it's like 180 years old. It's so beautiful. It's a handcrafted, whatever you call those things, a little, it's like sticks out like it's a curved glass structure. It sticks like 5 feet out into the yard. But it makes you feel like you're sitting, right in the middle of the sunshine outdoors. And we're having we're having our breakfast. And there's, you can have that crank. You release the little latch and then you twirl a crank. You crank like you're cranking a meat grinder, making some sausage. You crank and the window very gently rolls open. And we had the window open, 2 or 3 windows, so a little cross breeze. And it was so gorgeous. It was so beautiful. It was such a sunny, beautiful morning. And it opens up to a little patch of lawn, some trees, a stone wall, and some beautiful flower beds. And the man, we were sitting there, and I was gonna, whatever they throw down. Sometimes it's dry dog food. You never know, whatever. And sometimes it's a steak bone from yesterday. It's pretty good. And sometimes it's some leftover fish. Sometimes it's like a whole chicken breast. You're like, wow, I hit the jackpot. You never know what you're gonna get for breakfast. But the man, he said, "Would you like a piece of my purported blueberry muffin?" And I was gonna say yes because I saw buttery, crispy, a little crust on the edge, and it looks so golden brown, a little crusty and buttery. And I say, yeah, I like that piece right there, that muffin. And he says, my purported blueberry muffin. And I said, so what he's talking about, a purported blueberry muffin? I mean, I don't understand. He goes, yeah, because this ain't blueberries. And I said, well, listen, you have to make sure when you crack a joke like that, you have to make sure the purported is linked with either, the right thing, the muffin or the blueberry, because obviously it's a muffin. It's not a purported muffin. I see the muffin right there. So you're saying it's a purported blueberry, muffin. And the man didn't know what to say. And I said, because come on, it's a purported blueberry. The blueberry is purported. It's not a blueberry. So, and the man, he thought he was so wise. He was so funny, But, it didn't, he kind of got a little bit downcast. And I saw he kind of looked the other way. He's like, he thought he was cracking a funny joke. And I saw that at corners of his mouth curled down. And so he looked away like, oh, what? So I decided I'd look away, and I looked, and the cat who had been sitting in the window, it jumped out the window, and I was, I kind of watched my peripheral vision, and it had walked around a little bit, and investigated some flowers. And as the man was telling me about his whatever you call it when you think you have a good idea or you've made some kind of observation or it's witty. Maybe he thought he was being witty. He said a purported blueberry muffin. The cat was like nuzzling around and nuzzling through the flower beds, and it jumped up on a low-hanging hemlock branch, and then it walked over to some dewy grass, and it poked at a toad. It chased a couple crickets around, and then it sauntered back over. And as I was looking the one way, because I had hurt the man's feelings about the whole blueberry muffin joke thing, and he was looking out, back towards inside the manor house, and I was like looking out, I noticed the cat jumped back in the window. I didn't think too much of it. And, the man turned back around to me and he started trying to strike up another conversation. He had a little notepad and he looked down because I think he had written on the thing, first thing this morning, purported blueberry muffin joke. And when that didn't go over so well, I think he came up with number 2 on his list. And number 2 on his list was coleslaw/sandwiches. And I realized that, and he turned back around. He goes, coleslaw makes any sandwich better. I knew right away because we had this conversation a couple times before. And I heard that cat go into the laundry room, and I said to myself, because that's where that litter box is. That's where my recording studio is. So I'm staying in there with a stinky litter box on top of being in a laundry room. But I heard that cat go in the laundry room, and I heard that cat take a crap. And I've got dog sensibility. I could smell it. After a couple of minutes, it wafted out. I could smell it, and I heard him burying it. I heard the girl. It's a girl cat, and so I thought to myself, that's kind of strange, a little thinking, and the man was going on, and so that cat, it jumped in the window and it sauntered back over into the into the all the way into our chambers. I could hear it because the doors were all open, and the sunroom is very close to our chambers. But so I heard that cat I heard it burying his crap, and then as the man's babbling on about the man's like, you could make a coleslaw sandwich as far as I'm concerned. And a coleslaw sandwich would be better with more coleslaw. It'll be one kind of coleslaw. You'd get Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then you go to the local deli. You get coleslaw from Lee's or Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then you go to the local deli, and you put the local deli on top of the Lee's, and you have a coleslaw sandwich. It'll be delicious. And I saw the cat out of the corner of my eye, my peripheral vision, as I'm listening to the man babble on about a coleslaw sandwich. The cat jumped back out the window. And I thought, what? The cat jumped in the window to take a crap, and then it jumped back out to go back out. I'm like, you were nosing around in the flower beds. You couldn't have took a crap out there in the flower beds. You and the shaggy guys chasing grasshoppers and toads. You couldn't have squatted in there and among the reeds and the shaggy grass. You could have crept right in the middle of the lawn for anybody cared. You could have crawled up in the hemlock tree, but you jump out. And you get your exercise, and you have a little bit of fun, and you get a little excitement. You go, you know what? I have to take a crap. But it's too chilly out here. I'm not going to take a dewy kind of chilly crap. I'm going to jump back in the house. I got a beautiful bathroom inside the house, so I'm going to jump back in. You walk in, and you jump through the window, and you walk right through somebody's conversation, and you go take a dump. And then you walk straight back out. You jump back outside for more of your frolicking and your frivolity, And I thought, wow. I didn't know at this point what was worse. And as the man was explaining to me for the 1,000th time how he liked a foot-long hot dog with a chili and a mixture of coleslaw, And where he came from, they served soubrettes, where his dad came from, they served soubrettes and the sauerkraut. But ever since they moved here, it was always the footlongs and the coleslaw and the chili sauce. And I thought to myself, what's worse? Coleslaw and coleslaw sandwich, or a cat that comes back into crap and then goes back outside. I'm living in a booby hatch. Whatever. Purported this. I'm living in a booby hatch over here.